When is herpes contagious? If your question is, when is herpes contagious, the answer is, all the time. Open cold sores are highly contagious. But even if you're not experiencing an outbreak, it's still possible to transmit herpes. Our guide to kissing and cold sores goes into more detail about how you can reduce your HSV-1 transmission risk during an outbreak. By acting quickly and treating a cold sore in the early stage, you may be able to limit its development and speed up the healing process. Herpes is contagious when viruses are excreted and fresh blisters are visible. The greatest risk of herpes infection is posed by the fluid in the blisters, which contains a large number of viruses. As soon as all vesicles are encrusted and no new ones appear, the risk of infection is already much lower. Nevertheless, small amounts of virus can still be excreted some time after the herpes crust has fallen off. Herpes is only contagious during primary infection or reactivation. This is when viruses are excreted. However, the classic symptoms do not always have to be present. In the case of so-called latent infections, those affected excrete viruses but do not show any symptoms. Failure to take appropriate precautions will increase the risk of herpes transmission. While the virus is in dormant state, herpes infection is not possible. People with symptomatic HSV-1 can have anywhere from several outbreaks per year to one every couple years or so, depending on the individual. Outbreaks tend to be worst during the initial herpes outbreak, as the body hasn't had time to produce its own immune response to herpes. Oral HSV-1 outbreaks usually involve the development of cold sores around the lips and mouth. The sores usually begin as an itching, burning sensation before forming into small blisters over several days. When cold sores caused by HSV-1 are open, they can weep out infectious fluid, leading to a high risk of transmission. It's best to abstain from kissing or sexual activity if you have an open cold sore, as there's a risk of infecting your partner with HSV-1 through direct oral contact. When is herpes contagious? When is herpes contagious kissing? When is herpes contagious prodrome? When are cold sores contagious? When is a cold sore no longer contagious? When is a cold sore not contagious? When does a cold sore stop being contagious? When is herpes most contagious? When are cold sores most contagious? When is genital herpes contagious? Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel for my upcoming herpes treatment videos.